Production, right? Yes. You guys have seen his video? Yes. Did you like it?
Hi everyone!
I'll just give him the chance. On behalf of Coldwell Banker Dubai, I really want to thank you for your interest to come here and share your experience with all of us. And I'm just gonna give you the chance to give a brief about your background, and then we're gonna make it like an interactive session. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, actually, I didn't come here to share really my experience so much, but I'm going to do that. I came here to learn about and be a sponge to absorb the culture of the United Arab Emirates. And really, I don't know how I'm going to ask you guys questions about where you're from, how long you've been here, but truly, this is one of the world's emerging, most dynamic cities. I've only been here 12 hours. It's my first time. And already I can't believe what I'm seeing here. The amazing culture, the modern civilization you're building. It's truly an amazing city, and what a privilege and honor to be here with my friend Mohammed and Hisham and everyone. It's really, really nice to be here. So I'm curious, first of all, in here, who has been in real estate less than 1 year? Oh wow, 4 or 5 of you, good for you. 5 years or less? Okay, so another group. 10 years or less.
Everybody.
10 years or more.
Nobody.
Okay, so kind of newer agents, middle range agents, great. And so we're gonna make this very interactive. Actually, I might even sit. Is that okay?
Yeah.
It's more comfortable. So we're gonna make this very interactive. We're gonna have a lot of questions and answers. But just so you guys kind of know my background. Many people who don't know me see me on social media today, which is a modern way of marketing, and they think, oh, this is just some rich kid that came from a rich family that makes a lot of money selling real estate. Well, that's really not the truth. I came from no money, nothing. I don't know, who's from a rich family here? Nobody. So you're all creating your own world, right? As my coach always says to me, create your life by design. So I started at 16 years old. I was a fashion model, traveling all around the world, having fun as a model, and great business, lots of fun. And my wife, now of 23 years, said to me, I was 18, just turned 18, you need a more stable job, because I was traveling all around the world modeling, and she didn't like that. I'm with pretty girls, and she's at home, and So I said, what did you have in mind? She said, how about real estate? And I was 18 years old, so my impression was I can drive a fancy car, I can be my own boss, and I can show pretty houses and make a lot of money. I didn't realize that real estate really was truly a business, that you have to have a plan, you have to have a vision, you have to have a way to get from where you are now to where you want to be. So I kind of started my first year in real estate. I got my license, came back. The first year I sold 1 property. This is back in 1989, 1990. Many of you weren't even born probably at that time. And it was a $43,000 condo. I made $1,700 my whole first year in real estate. And it was disappointing because I expected to be rich right away. And my manager came to me and said, Christophe, you've been here for a year, you haven't made a lot of money, you've got 90 days or we're kicking you out of the office. Well, I was pretty ashamed and embarrassed, and it was one of the best offices at Coldwell Banker in the time. And I figured, okay, I was doing the traditional things. I would sit at open houses. Do you guys do open houses here? Okay. So I would sit at an open house waiting for someone to come. We have a floor desk where every day the calls come in, everybody gets to answer the calls, right, for the listings. I'd sit there waiting for the phone to ring, but that didn't bring me business. I realized I had to create a plan, decide who I want as my clients, and go after those people aggressively. Now, I don't mean aggressively in a negative fashion, but prospecting. Who here prospects? Do you know what I mean by prospecting? Where you literally get on the phone or knock on the door 3 hours a day. I did that for the first 17 years of my career, every day like clockwork. Get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, get to the office by 6:30. I do affirmations. You guys know what affirmations are?
No.
You know? Affirmations are, every morning I have a friend, we pick up the phone for 15 minutes and we talk about, I'm the best agent, I expect great opportunities to come my way. We talk out loud of the things we affirm, the things that we want in our life, as if they're already there. So it's a mindset. Mindset is one of the most important things you can have to be a successful agent. So creating the mindset. And then, so when I first started my career, my average price was about $200,000, and I was selling a lot of houses. About 75 a year was my top end at that particular time. But I didn't love those kinds of inexpensive houses. I didn't love the calling every day. So I figured I've got to figure out a new way. And I created a mindset of what is the kind of client that I want. So I wrote down, and everything you need to write down your goals. I wrote down my perfect client. I want clients who love me, trust me, respect me, will follow my advice, do what I say, are rich, fun, and I can be friends with. That was who I wanted as my client. So because that is in my mind all the time, every person I meet, anywhere in the world, from at the coffee place to the supermarket to the farmer's market, on an airplane, I have that mindset of, are you my next client? Are you my next client? Are you my next client? Or do you know someone who could be my next client? So I start off with that whole attitude of creating what you want, starting the hard way, getting on the phones, calling. I was calling expired listings. Like a listing was on the market, didn't sell with another broker. I would call them and say, I know you didn't sell with that broker. Let me meet with you and show you what I can do. Can you do that here in the Middle East?
Yes.
You can, okay. And then do you have for sale by owners? Are there any owners that try to sell themselves?
Yes.
Okay. I would call for sale by owners. And so I started my career 3 hours a day making phone calls. I mean, every hour I'd call about 40 to 50 people. I'd talk to maybe 10 or 12, and I would usually set 1 or 2 appointments every hour. I'd have my phone, but I had headsets, because this is not easy to talk. But you have a headset, you can talk and move and speak and focus on the client. So I started by getting clients little by little, one by one, and then really nurturing that relationship. I think most agents make a mistake. They get a client, a buyer or a seller, they make a deal, they get the commission check, and they kind of put it away and forget about it. You have to nurture your clients from the minute you meet them for the rest of your life. And I was 18, 19 years old, and I said to people, I know I'm a brand new agent, I know I've never sold anything before, and I want to list your $2 million house, but trust me, I'm not them. I'm not going to sit back and do nothing. I'm going to really be your agent for life. And I really believe that. So many of my clients today, 26 years later, are clients from back in the beginning that now we've done 15, 16, 17 sales over the years. And because I nurture those relationships, it keeps growing and growing and growing, and the referrals keep growing. How many of you, when you sell a house for a seller or buyer, take your clients out to dinner when you're done? Only 3 of you.
Not before you.
No, actually, I take them out before. When I meet a buyer and we're looking at houses, first day, we look in the morning, we go to lunch. I'll take them out to lunch almost every day when we're looking at houses, because you're looking at houses, you're in the car, you're running around, but then you sit down for lunch. You have an hour or two, they have a glass of wine, you get to talk, you get to know them. People will do business if they know you, they like you, they trust you, then they'll do business with you. So I think it's really important, whenever you sell a house, take that client out for dinner to the best restaurant. You say, look, I really appreciate your business. I want to take you guys out. You were so amazing to work with. Where can I take you? Where would you guys really, really like to go? And then treat them like a king or queen. Well, first you should do that your whole time. But then once you've done the deal and they're happy with you, then you can connect with them as human beings. And that connection can bring you so many referrals in the future. So just really important. But instead of me talking now, that's kind of where I came from. And I'm in Beverly Hills. I sell LA. We do all kinds of properties. But let's talk about what I can share from my experience to help you guys build your businesses, whether it's from how do you get clients to coaching to social media marketing. You guys just start asking me questions. I love questions and answers, so I can really help you guys build whatever is in your business that you want to build or grow or make better for what you're doing. So who has some questions for me?
So tell me, you nurture your clients. How do you nurture your clients?
How do you nurture them? First of all, giving great customer service from start to finish. You have to always be available to a client. Now, not every second of the day, but really being available to take care of their needs. Really understanding their needs. To me, I really spend a lot of time asking a lot of questions of my clients and getting to know. One of the first questions I meet with any client, how do you want to communicate? That's one of the first questions. Do you want to communicate via text, email, phone call? And you need to go back and do business the way they want to do business. Some clients, everything is WhatsApp or text. Other ones, they want you to pick up the phone. other ones want an email. So, but I really look at who they are, and in today's world, we can actually study the clients. If I get a new client that I don't know or is referred to me, the first thing I do is a Google search, right? Anyone is today, especially if they're in business and they're making money, you can usually find out a lot about them. And in 1 minute, reading someone's bio, you see that they had a doctorate degree in science, and you can say, oh, that's a highly analytical person. They're going to be involved with numbers. They're going to be very detail-oriented. If it's a celebrity, well, you kind of know who they are, but they're more emotional, they're more touchy-feely. So I really look at who they are, and I ask them how they want to communicate. Because if you can communicate with someone in a way that they're comfortable with, they feel nurtured, they feel taken care of. And I pay attention to the littlest little things. During our relationship, I just pay attention so that when escrow closes, I heard them mention one time they like Lalique. So I'll buy them something Lalique. So nurturing is understanding someone and helping to give them what they want in the way that they want it.
You adapt your personality based on each
Exactly.
client.
Exactly. I always said I see myself as a chameleon. I have to change my colors 10 times a day for who I'm seeing, but yet always being true to myself. So I love that question. Who else has some more questions?
Like as you said, like you started the real estate career. So I just wanted to know, like, I mean, did you see something happening, or people getting a lot of money from the real estate is why you chose that as a career, or you had that feel to sell more is why? I mean, is it because of the money you chose this, or is because you wanted to be like social or?
That's a really good question. I think I probably started initially, again, I was 18 years old, so I was not very mature. I thought you make a lot of money. I always wanted to be my own boss. I love luxury, I love beautiful homes, and I love fancy cars. That was my stupid impression as 18 years old of what real estate was about. Now I know that's just this part of the business. There's so much more to that. But that's probably why I got started, because I thought it was easy money being your own boss. But I realized that that's not really how it works. It's a great business. You've been in less than a year, I think, right?
No. More than, I mean, in between 10 years, I'm almost.
10 years or so. Got it. Why did you get into real estate?
Well, when I actually joined real estate, I never thought of it to be actually taking it as a career. But then I love selling. I like the work. So it's not about only money. It's about the work, liking of the work. So.
Got it.
So I think I just love the work.
Got it.
Yeah.
In terms of sales, I think I'm a natural salesperson by personality.
Yeah.
That's kind of naturally who I am. But for the first probably 10 years of my career, my coach used to call me the secret agent, because I was in a way embarrassed to be a real estate agent. In my mind, a real estate agent at that time was perceived as a used car salesman, a low-end, kind of pushy, aggressive salesperson. So I didn't want to be associated, because my friends were very rich, and most of them owned businesses and companies, and I was a bit embarrassed to be like, oh, I sell real estate. I had to shift that, and I've become very proud of what I do, because I don't know how it works in UAE, but in the United States, when I sell a piece of real estate, the truth of the matter is 150 people, or 144 people, have a job because I've sold that piece of real estate. From the escrow companies, to the title companies, to the inspectors, the warranty companies, the contractors, the painters, the furniture stores, the interior designers. So I believe in contributing to the world. I believe the more you give to the universe, the more you will receive. So when I switched my mindset from I'm trying to make a commission and get something from them to, yes, I will naturally and automatically make a commission and earn a good living by giving great service, by helping someone with their needs and helping them walk through the process. Because buying real estate is a very emotional thing, number one. There's a lot of ups and downs in every transaction, highs and lows and upsetments and joys. I'm to be the calming force in the deal. I'm here to keep everyone focused and really help them walk through the mud and the stickiness of the deal. And so by doing that, that's the customer service and that's the nurturing, because I really pay attention to small important things that, like just the day of closing, people are moving and all this stuff. I'll call them up and say, hey, I know you guys are moving today, you're packing. I've set up, I have a caterer coming to bring you and your workers all lunch for the afternoon so you have something to eat, you have to worry about it, right? Doesn't cost a lot of money, but I know when I'm moving, you're moving and packing, you don't have time. Otherwise you're like, your wife says, honey, I'm hungry. You gotta get in the car, you gotta run and get some food. Why not just anticipate someone's need? Just always think today, tomorrow, next week, next month, how can I help those clients? Particularly, I know your market's probably like Beverly Hills. A lot of my clients own vacation homes in LA, just like probably in Dubai. So I'm always in touch with them, especially now on social media. It's an opportunity to be constantly in communication with your friends. And you see what they're doing. And I keep it, oh, when you guys coming to, because I know my typical clients have homes in LA, they typically come 2 or 3 times a year. And usually come Christmas time, maybe Thanksgiving, Easter, summertime. So I kind of know that, so I start calling them. Hey guys, you guys coming this year again for Christmas? Yeah, we're gonna be here around the 12th or 15th. I said, look, what are your plans? What can I do to help you? Do you need a chef for one of your parties? Would you like me to take you guys out to dinner with your friends? You know, just kind of always stay in touch with people, communicate with them, and see how you can help them. And it's kind of fun. And then when I travel around the world, I get to go visit them and meet their friends. And when people see you really care, they know you'll care for their friends. And people want to refer people that they love, trust, and feel will take care of their friends. So, just a little thought.
Christophe, you said you take them out for lunches, before the deal, after the deal.
Yes.
You take care, gift them and all that.
Yes.
So what would you advise somebody who's just started a career, who's less than 1 month, who doesn't have money, like in your first year, you just ultimate $1,700.
Right. Yeah.
How do they do that? What do they do?
Well, if you make a deal, well, I guess...
So before the deal.
Before the deal, well, you know, kind of in this business, you got to spend money to make money. We all had times where we didn't have money. I remember when I was first starting out, sometimes I'd use my credit card to pay for something for real estate, worry about, will the credit card go through? That happens to all of us. I think you have to just plan and anticipate, and sometimes you got to just spend money you don't have with the hopes you're going to get it in return, and usually it works out. So, but you know, a lunch or dinner, it doesn't have to be the most expensive restaurant. It can be a coffee shop. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can just be a connection and just showing that you care and that you are taking extra time to understand them and help them.
So I'm sure if you pay once, they will not let you pay all the time.
Some do, some don't. And I'll give you an example. I have one friend who's a very, very famous international pop singer from Asia. And she wanted to buy a property in LA. She almost bought one for $5 million. So every time she'd come to LA, lunches and dinners, and she's a celebrity. So we'd go out to these dinners, and I'd say to my wife, okay, we're taking so-and-so to dinner tonight. These dinners would cost $3,000 or $4,000 because she wants Cristal and caviar, and you got to do it. So she never bought anything. And I think she did lease a property, and they made about $50,000 on the lease. But I teased my wife. I said, "God, in all the lunches and dinners we've done with this girl, I basically broke even." But
so coming to that, how long does it take you? You're going through all this process.
Yes.
So from the time you qualified your buyer or your client to closing a deal, on an average, how long does it take you?
My average deals, the cash deals, are 7 to 10 days to close.
7 to 10 days.
From when they sign the contract.
No, from the time you met the client to qualify him to closing a contract.
God, that's a really good question. With foreign buyers, particularly the super rich, I find they come to LA for vacations, probably like when people come to Dubai. And you might get that call, oh, we're in Dubai on vacation. I want to go look at houses this afternoon. Who's gotten those calls? No?
Yeah.
Okay, I was no one raised their hand. But I know, okay, as long as they have the money, I'm going to make it happen because rich people buy on a whim. So sometimes they'll call me, I'll take them out, they'll buy that afternoon. Sometimes I'll take them out for 2-3 days, they don't see anything. They'll come back in 6 months, they don't see anything. They're just casually, and then like one client in particular, they came 4 times over a year and a half. Kind of like that last minute, we want to look at properties, take them out, lunches, dinners, nothing happened. Then the next time they said, well, we're coming, but we're going to come 3 days in LA, look at houses. We're going to Aspen for 2 days, we're coming back, we want to buy that time. They bought a $14 million house, paid cash, closed escrow in 7 days. So you never know when that's going to happen, but I have to work every day taking care of them as if it's going to happen right now. And it may not happen from them. They may not, and I've had it where the same thing has happened with other buyers. They don't buy, but then they feel guilty. So they make their friends, they don't make them buy, but like, you're buying in LA, you call Christophe, and then they buy. And that's why I got an internet lead 6 years ago, just out of the blue internet lead. He saw my videos. That's why I do a lot of video. One of the reasons I do videos. And just email correspondence. Send me some condos in LA, 3 to 5 million, blah, blah, blah. So one day he emailed me, says, I'm going to be in LA on Friday. It was Wednesday. I want to look at properties. I emailed him back. I said, great. Are you already in the States or what? He says, I happen to be in Las Vegas. I said, I'm in Las Vegas too. Let's meet. I'd never met him. We went to the Wynn Hotel, had drinks, had a bottle of champagne, smoked some cigars, spent an hour and a half talking. I knew what he wanted. I said, look, if you want, I'll be happy to fly back to LA early tomorrow to take you out. No, it's not necessary. I said, but I want you to see these 3 buildings. So I called my office. I set up one of my team members, said, you pick him up, you just show him, you don't say anything, you just show him properties. Well, he bought a $5 million condo that day, 5-day escrow. He's referred me 5 other clients. So with those 5 other clients, I've sold about 35 million US dollars of real estate from an internet lead. That took a year before we met in person. Then from when we met in person to closing was about a week. And now 5-6 deals from the referrals. And he's going to sell that $5 million condo and buy something else. So you never know who's going to make a deal. But with him, took him to the Wynn. Met him at the Wynn. Took anything. It was $600 for champagne and drinks. But I just felt this man, who I knew had money, wouldn't take the time to meet with me while he's in the United States unless he was serious. So it was a gamble I was willing to take. And now with him, he comes to LA 3-4 times a year. Half the time I pay, half the time he pays. So that's my thought.
Social media and your success.
What's the impact of social media?
And your success.
Oh, and my successes. Social media is a huge opportunity. I truly believe probably the biggest opportunity we as real estate agents have today. And in particular, you talked about the newer agents that don't have budgets. So 6 years ago when I started doing social media, I do print ads. I do all the ads at most traditional brokers, which are very expensive. But I'm really good at doing videos. In the old days, I would do a blog. I'd take pictures and write a blog. I'm not a good writer. It would take me hours to do that. 2-3 hours to write a 3-4 paragraph blog. When they said do videos, you can turn a camera on, one take, I say what I have to say, it's impactful, and it really works. But social media is an opportunity for you to put yourself in a worldwide stage to have people remember you. So for me, people only have to remember 4 things about me. My name, Beverly Hills, luxury, and real estate. That's all I try to get across on my social media. And now I travel all around the world all the time, speaking at offices, meeting agents, networking. I don't friend any agents in social media within 20 miles of my office, because generally speaking, an agent in LA is not going to send me referrals. They want to just see what I'm doing to copy me, right? So they're not my friends in the social media world. But any agent outside of LA, that's kind of my field of opportunity. So I first met Mohammed and all my friends from your company in New York, I think New Orleans, the different Coldwell Banker Gen Blue conferences. Who's been at Gen Blue conferences here? Okay. If you guys have not been, I'm seriously telling you, you guys have got to go. It's whatever the expenses. Stay in a cheap hotel if you have to. Go and coach if it doesn't matter. Get yourself to this conference. Not only the learning you'll do, but the networking. Make it you are truly in one of the most beautiful cities in the world, dynamic cities with, from what I can tell, amazing opportunities for investments. Mohammed and I were talking in the car. I said, I'm in the luxury market, but I said, what's the starting point of properties here? He said $150,000, $200,000. So to me, there's hardly a person in the world that's making a decent income that couldn't afford to spend $200,000 to buy a vacation property here that I'm guessing they could rent when they don't use it when they want. And I'm guessing in this city, with the way appreciation is, that investment could be worth double to triple in 5 or 10 years. Sure. So I think you have an amazing opportunity to showcase your world. I love Mohammed's videos. Mohammed does all these great videos. He's driving in his car, doing selfie videos. He's riding the streets of Dubai with his motorized, what do you call it? Rover. But you know what? When I think of Dubai real estate, I think of Mohammed. Because we see each other maybe once a year or so at different conferences. But in the meantime, I get to see him maybe every week because I Facebook friends. So when I have a client that's going to come to Dubai, who do you think I'm going to call? Right. So if you guys aren't doing things like that, promoting yourself to your social sphere, and particularly, I mean, the influx of buyers for here are primarily India. We talked about this, but my instinct was right. India, Europe, Eastern Europe, probably Russia, a little bit of America. So, you know, if you go to Gen Blue, focus on, like when I go to Gen Blue, I'm like, okay, I need to meet the president of India, the president of China, United Arab Emirates, Egypt, because I'm like, these are the countries I want to know, I want to learn more about, and develop those relationships. And it does take time. But if I never get business from it, I learn about those countries. And when a wealthy client who's going to buy a $5-10 million US value property here probably has a house in London, maybe one in New York, maybe one in LA, Paris, Rome, the big cities. So typically when you're traveling and you're talking to these people, topic comes up in conversation, oh, we're going to Dubai. Well, for me to be able to speak intelligently about the buildings, the real estate market, having someone I can trust and know to refer them to is really, really important. I mean, what happened with this trip is we're invited to a big party on Friday night. So we came for this trip because 30 of our friends from around the world are all coming. And I thought, well, I'm going to be there for 5 days. Why not stay a few more extra days, meet with my co-banker friends, look at the real estate, learn about the city, share about this beautiful city to the world. And so about social media, this morning we did a quick selfie video at one of the buildings. That video, we posted it maybe an hour and a half ago. I think we've had 1,000 views of that video in an hour and a half. So I have 1,000 people around the world that have seen that video in the hour and a half. Probably within the next few weeks, we'll probably get 5,000 or 10,000 views of that video. And again, I'm marking Christophe, Beverly Hills, luxury, Dubai, co-banker Dubai, showing the internet. So, and one of my friends who's very wealthy saw the video. She's, oh my God, I love that building, I'll take it. She was supposed to come for the party Friday, she can't come. I said, well, Nuria, next time you're in Dubai, let me know, I'll hook you up with Mohammed and he'll take you to show it. She might just buy that apartment on the spot. So just from sharing what I love to do and sharing the beauty of your city, and I've done 10 videos since last night when I got here, I've done maybe 15 photos, and I'm sharing and tagging everyone that I'm, Burj Khalifa, I'm tagging the Four Seasons, I'm tagging Mohammed and Hisham and everyone, I'm tagging everyone so that they see it in their networks, I'm building their networks, I'm building mine, and sharing that I'm international, I have the connections, I know the properties. So it's social media and it's all free. It's all free. I remember when I started doing videos 6 years ago, I started doing video after video. And after about 4 years, I said to my coach, I said, I've done so many, I think I did 300 videos at that point in time. I said, but I haven't monetized it. You know what the word monetize means? It means I haven't actually made money from doing that. I said, what's the point of spending all this time and effort doing videos if I'm not making any money? He says, keep sticking with it, it's gonna happen. A few months later, I got a phone call from a lady. She had been looking for a house for a year and a half with another broker at Coldwell Banker, was unhappy. She wanted to interview me, so we talked on the phone. I said to her, how did you find out about me? She said, I did a Google search of Bel Air. Your video came up, I saw your video. It was a driving tour of a street in Bel Air. And I said, well, what made you call me in the video? She says, you were very honest. I said, what do you mean? You said that if you're a sun lover, don't buy in that street, because it was a canyon in Bel Air, where if you're, and I said in the video, honestly, and my videos are always honest, I said, if you like the sun, this may not be for you, because it's in a canyon, so the sun will rise a few hours later, and it will set a few hours earlier, so you don't get the full sun. She said she almost bought a house on that street, but she found that out afterwards, so she didn't buy it, but she said I was honest. And then number two, that video took her to my helicopter video. So she said, I figured if you'd spend that much money on a helicopter video, you would spend money to market my home. So I met with her and her husband. The second day I took them out, they bought a $10.2 million home. I sold their home for $5 million. They referred me 2 clients that bought for $5 million and $2 million 3 months after. So we did $26 million in sales in a 2-month period from 2 videos. And the one video cost me a lot of money, but the other video was free. So social media is an amazing opportunity. Just last week, my main YouTube channel, we hit 3 million views of videos. So in 5 or 6 years, we've had 3 million people watch my videos, and I've gotten a lot of business from that. So that's why I don't even have time to do as many videos as I'd like to here, or even post them, because I'd be on my phone all day long. But you have such an amazing, vibrant city, from the beaches to the downtown to the shopping, the restaurants, the clubs. I've only been here 12 hours and there's so much content here. I mean, if I lived here, I would be posting content all the time about this amazing city. Just share what you love about this city. Share what you think is special about from your perspective. And people will be drawn to you because of your love of what you're doing and the love of what you're sharing, and it'll bring you business. But you've got to start doing it. I mean, social media is the biggest opportunity, and it's still like a 3-year-old child. It's still in its infancy, and it will continue to grow. And every year there's more and more and more platforms to share your media. But how else can you do a video or send a message, push a button, and sit back and within an hour have 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people listening to your message, paying attention to it, and thinking, Christophe, luxury, Dubai. So even someone in New York who maybe has a buyer that's going to Dubai, they may not know anybody in Dubai, but they may, hey Christophe, I saw you were in Dubai. I have a big client going there. They want to spend $5 million. Can you help refer me to someone? Right? And I won't necessarily get a fee for that, but I'm helping him, and what's going to happen is he's going to think of me when he's going to buy in LA, or it's help people without looking to get something in return, and it will always come back. So, and it's fun, it's exciting. Why not, make life exciting and share? To me, I just want to share the beauty of the world around me, no matter what it is. Even coming in Emirates, I'd never been on Emirates Airlines, and I was privileged to be in the first class suites. What an amazing airline, right? So I did, 4 or 5 videos of the airline. I did lots of pictures sharing the exciting airline. And so many people were like, I want to go on that airline, I want to do it. And people at Emirates contacted me, and it's this morning at the hotel, we were having breakfast. The hostess of the restaurant, she came to introduce, hello Mr. Choo, how are you? I'd never met her before. I said hello. She goes, oh, we're so glad you're here, thank you for coming. We saw your video of your being on the Emirates Airlines. I'm like, oh wow, thank you. And then my wife came and she says, I told her, she says, how did they see your video? And I said, I don't know. So when the girl, I said, come here for a second, and she said, how'd you see my video? She said, our Four Seasons social media team has been following you. We've been watching what you're doing, and we had a group meeting and we all were watching your videos. So who knows what can come from that? But I'm promoting the hotel, I'm promoting the airline, I'm promoting everything that I love and I see, and sharing it with the world. If I share, it's because I like it. I won't share things I don't like, or very rarely. And my social media is always pretty, beautiful, lovely, nice. I don't share bad things. I mean, there's enough negative news out there in the world. Every time you turn a TV on or the news, it's horrible stuff, right? So I'm just a person, I want to share the beauty of the world. And we can every day look at the beautiful things in the world or the bad things in the world, And right now it's kind of a rough time after what happened in Paris a few weeks ago, and I think there's a misconception of the world about the Middle East and the Arab world. People are stupid and they don't understand that a group that does bad things is not a whole culture. So for a minute there, and with friends like, oh, should you go to the Middle East right now? Not a good thing, but I'm sharing the beauty of this culture, and it's a wonderful culture, and what a few bad people did has nothing to do with the wonder of the Arabic world. So I just share beauty and wonderful things, and I don't share negative things. So just share who you are, what you love about where you are, what you're doing. And people, in my affirmations every day, I said, like moths to a flame, people are attracted to me like a light. I'm like a beacon of light and a ball of fire, that all that I want is just simply attracted and comes to me. That's one of my affirmations. So that it's like a sheet, it's like a ball, like a magnet, that I'm attracting what I want in my mind, and it happens. And I have like this hidden shield around me that the negativity and the bad things, I don't really need to see it or know about it. I just focus on the beauty and the positive things that are out there. Otherwise, you can live in the good things in life or live in the bad things in life.
Christophe,